pounds under the influence of these staring routines.
I actually stared into somebody's eyes for an hour and a half, just continually, and straight afterwards I was taken upstairs to buy more courses, and I can remember just handing over, well, actually signed a piece of blank paper with my initials, and then gave them, they typed a letter of authority in around it, and I gave them my building society book, and they just went and drew out what they wanted.
When I count from 1 to 7, your eyes will close. You will remain aware of everything which goes on. You will be able to remember everything that happens here. You can pull yourself out of anything which you get into if you don't like it. Do you understand?
Yes.
Good. 1, 2,
Another technique
3,
is what the Scientologists call auditing.
5, 6, 7. Locate an incident that you feel you can comfortably face. Go to the beginning of that incident.
I'm in my boyfriend's flat, and we're having a huge argument. I've seen him on the street with another girl, and I've asked him about it, and he hasn't denied it. And I've threatened to leave, and he just says, "Okay, go." So I grab my things and walk out the door.
Good. Go back to the beginning.
Ali is required to go over and over a traumatic event in her past.
To a feeling at the time.
I threatened to leave. I just said, I'm going to go then. And he said, "Fine, go. I don't really care if I never see you again." So I just walked out.
Good. Go back to the beginning and go over it again. Pay close attention.
At the end of the
to
session,
what you
Ali
say.
felt euphoric.
I got quite upset at points, that quite emotional, and I even cried during it. And so after the session I felt on a real high. I felt like I'd been released from something.
In Scientology, as in many of the cults, when they are shutting down the mind systematically, when they're shutting down emotions systematically, people will experience a kind of ecstasy by default, as we call it. There'll be a release of some kind of a pressure, and they'll feel this as a psychological high.
Yes.
Frequently, whilst on a high, Ali is taken to see the director of the pool mission, Roger Kay. He's always keen to sell her more courses. She's already spent £250 and claims to have little money left.
Right.
Kay's recommending Ali should be audited for another 20 hours and do more courses, costing another £2,000. These sessions are often late at night.
You feel more confident about the future and what you want to do and that kind of thing.
So, and that improves your memory?
Yes, that's one of the things it does. There's other things too with that.
And even after the centre closes, the hard sell continues. At the end of this lengthy session, so long that the batteries in her camera had run out, Ali makes a revelation.
I threw in a line that I had a disinheritance in Australia, and he became very interested in that. He didn't push me, but he slowly tried to find out ways how I could get that money, how I could fax the bank, how I could get it quickly. Even though I assured him I could get it in a couple of weeks, that wasn't soon enough for him.
Another day, another registrar, another form, and another tactic. Ali needs to move her car as her 2-hour parking ticket is about to expire.
I've got to get a new ticket for my car in the car park. Where is it?
The Scientologist insists on accompanying her. Ali's rarely left alone, even to go to the toilet, and she's escorted from office to office. It's a deliberate ploy, according to former staff member Stuart Boot.
The idea was that you weren't going to let them leave, because often you found if people had a moment or two to think, the chances are they'd leave or want to change their mind about the money they'd paid in for a course, which was often quite high.
Stuart Boot was 5th in command at Pool Mission until November last year. He attended many late-night meetings to decide which clients to hit financially.
It would become a money-orientated thing that you were looked at as to how many services we could get out of you and how much money we could milk you for.
Nuclear physicist Adam Bird was milked for £34,000. He went to the Scientologists for help with dyslexia, but ended up borrowing from various different banks to buy courses. Then several Scientologists came to lodge with him to help with the hefty interest payments.
During this event, they took over my life. I had not intended to put lodgers in my house. I now had lodgers in my house who were Scientologists, one of whom was quite high up in their command structure. to help pay again another